I've used quite a wide variety of materials in this show, primarily bronze, plaster and tree materials, but I think in my head it feels broader than that because I've collected all these things from different places. So yeah, my experience of it has been quite eclectic. Bronze is the primary material, it's the one that's most considered, but in recent years I've been experimenting much more with plaster because it's so quick. And in a way, if I'm uncertain of an idea, I can make it in plaster. I don't mean to sound cavalier, but it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. And that's a freedom. The bronze process is very different. It's working with the foundry, which is this fantastic process. But it's a slower process, so you almost have to be more certain that you know what the result's going to be. Whereas plaster's just joyously experimental. When I begin a sculpture, there is actually no beginning. And there's no beginning because and people often ask, how do you get your next idea? It's kind of not like that. It's this line of thought that you're travelling along. And very occasionally a piece of inspiration will come left field and catch you in a dream or through somebody else's piece of work. But basically it's a line. So I will sketch occasionally before a piece of work, but only just to remember an idea. Because I'm using methods that I know quite a lot about now, I'm almost sketching in 3D, life-size. The gathering project started about 15 years ago, although at the time I didn't actually know it was going to be called that or become that. I just found myself feeling very desperate about the environment and what we were doing to it. Really quite panicky as a mother of young children. It felt awful. And so I sort of thought, well, what can I do with my sculpture? Is it okay even to be making sculpture when this is the situation that we're facing, humanity is facing? Through various different readings and courses, I came to the conclusion that the art could be of service. It's almost a Gandhian idea. So I started making work with found tree materials. And the idea was to breathe the natural world into the built environment. So take this beauty and bring it into the gallery, and then subsequently it would be in homes. To try and just keep raising awareness of the beauty. But the meditation of it was hours and hours, weeks, every autumn spent under trees gathering, hence Gathering Project. And you realise that as humans we are no different from the rest of nature. We're not, we're just another product of it. And just as each acorn cup each is the same and each is different. And that's exactly what we are. And that's not a coincidence, because we are just a product of nature in its incredible fecundity. And yeah, so it was a very, very calming experience doing it. And it really absorbed my studio and my life for almost 15 years. So some people ask me how long it takes to put together a show. And there's no set answer really. I see it like tributaries joining in to make a river. So some of this work actually sort of maybe started, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. And then some has actually been made, like the Archaeology of Love, have been made in the last month because I can't resist making up to the deadline. I'm never ready until the deadline. So I suppose maybe about 6 months ago, I launched my canoe on this river. And then since then, it's like that. Nothing else. But it's all been happening, working up. You couldn't do it in 6 months. And now, going forward, it's unknown. I want to respond in some way to the crisis we're in as humanity on the planet. I want to reconnect to the natural world. But if something comes from within that isn't about the natural world, I also want to be true to that as an artist. So that's the unknown. Maybe that will be the balancing game. I've got a new studio. I've just got to go there. You just have to start work and trust.